Here, Matt right here. It's the invasion. It's the post-game show, and it's a 21-3 deficit for Dallas in the first half. Matt, impressions first half, go.
It sucks. It's deflating. You wanted to have a better performance on the road, of course, and we were talking about this, man. I mean, it's 21-3, but you're 2 or 3 personal foul calls away, a missed fumble call that for whatever reason they decided not to challenge from this actually being a game. And you look at that, man, I mean, you talk about the worst timed penalties they might have had all season. It's a 2nd and 19. It was about to be a 3rd and 19, and you get the flag that extends the drive. You have off the field, they're going to punt. A penalty extends the drive, leads to a touchdown. Man, it kind of feels a little bit like a combination of the Arizona game where they couldn't stop them on the ground because James Cook is just running all over them like the defense isn't even on the field. And then a little bit like the Philadelphia game where all the bounces, all the calls seem to be going Buffalo's way.
Yeah, Cook 104 yards rushing in the first half, 42 receiving yards in the first half, so 146 total yards.
That seems pretty good.
Man, I couldn't stand that play on Curse, the penalty on Curse.
I can't either.
If he catches the ball and he hits him, it's fine.
You're
not going to get a penalty. But because he didn't catch it and he's just following through as a defender is supposed to do, then he gets that call. I cannot stand that call. The one on Sam Williams was accurate. He went for the punt block. It was a very aggressive. If he doesn't leave his feet, he probably blocks it, and everything is fine. Left his feet, couldn't get it done, and that penalty, I can see that. And they're always going to protect the quarterback, so you can kind of see the one on DeMarcus Lawrence. It was really close, but they get that call. And, if you don't have those penalties, the Cowboys aren't this far down in this game. But their offense is having a hard time on the road here in Buffalo. They can't get it done. They have
nothing.
89 total yards in the first half.
Amazing.
That's it. It is tough sledding out there for their offense, and their defense can't stop the run. So it just looks like that they are getting pretty much beat up at the line of scrimmage. You're so used to seeing the Cowboys dominate the line of scrimmage, and they haven't done that here in Buffalo. Now, can they get this offense going? Another thing, before we get to that, the injury bug is starting to catch up. Yeah. And this team has been so healthy this entire year, not missing a lot of people. You don't have Malik Hooker to start the game. He's inactive. Of course, Hankins is out also.
Huge loss in the middle.
But now you've lost Zach Martin, looks like, for the rest of the game. Mm-hmm. Damone Clark goes down. Who else was hurt? Who am I missing? Donovan Wilson got hurt in that first half. So you're starting to see some of the injuries pile up with this team, and they're just not having any luck on the road like they do at home, and it is kind of amazing.
It's weird.
Buffalo, 19 first downs to the Cowboys 6. Total plays, Buffalo only has 38 total plays, and the Cowboys, they have 26. But they couldn't even get things done at the end of the first half when it looked like, okay, if you can get the Belichick turnaround and get some points at the end of the first half, you getting the ball at the beginning of the second half. But, man, I think you kind of start looking at things that can turn halves around. And it just feels like the Cowboys don't have any of it today.
No,
this Buffalo defense is playing well.
Yeah, and that's, I think, very frustrating, of course, for any Cowboys fan because you look at this and the dichotomy between what we see with this team at home and what we see with this team on the road, it's so stark. It's stunning. I mean, we just watched this team whip Philadelphia and look like they might be one of the best, if not the best team in the NFL. And today they look like they're 3-10 instead of 10-3. It's really bizarre.
I think you have to give a little credit to Buffalo. They're playing really well defensively. They have the 2 high safeties, and they're almost daring Dallas to run. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, when you're down 18 points, it's kind of tough to stick with the run when they're daring you to run because you have to try to get back in the game. And you do that with kind of throwing it around. And Dak Prescott's been really freaking good here this season. But 6-13 for 43 yards, sack 1 time. They are getting destroyed at the line of scrimmage here. And I don't know is it because Zach Martin's out or whatnot, but their offensive line, even when they hold up, Dak can't find anyone down the field because they're playing those 2 safeties pretty deep, daring you to try to throw it around because they're going to try to pick it off. So the Cowboys have some adjustments to do. One thing that always kind of gets in my craw a bit when it comes to the Cowboys and the way they run things is that the Diggs fumble, that was a fumble, and you don't challenge it. And
Yeah.
I know they ran up to the line or whatever, but that should kind of give you an indication that it's, especially if you're down, it's well worth you wasting a challenge, even if that doesn't work. Like, it's the reason why they're doing that.
Yep.
At least just throw it out there because you have nothing to lose. You're getting drilled here in the first place, so why try not to just take advantage of it? And if you don't get it or they tell you can't do it, at least you slowed the pace down a bit. But it seems like the Cowboys have always had their issues as far as when to review things, when to throw out the challenge flag, and it bit them. They are shooting themselves in the foot in this half with the penalties, not challenging, and just not being able to get this offense going.
Yeah, it's been clunky at best, I think, for Dallas. You look at this. This is an offense that we have seen really since the San Francisco loss. Lots of explosive plays, and they missed Cooks on that first drive. Dak overthrew Cooks deep, and he was open.
Yeah.
If he could have connected on that. Outside of that, he either hasn't had the time to throw, or when he does, they're completely covered down the field, and we're not seeing any of those explosive plays. Their longest play of the day, Lamb has a 15-yard reception and a 16-yard reception, and it's completely different than what we've become accustomed to the last 8 weeks with the level of explosiveness that we've come to expect from this offense that isn't there today.
They're getting their asses kicked.
They are
in the
getting their
first
asses
half.
kicked.
It's 21-3. They have 30 minutes to
The Bills
try
are
to
pissed
turn
about
this
Super
around. I guess so. And, they have to win this because they're on the outside looking in, and they look like the more desperate team that has to win this game. The Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot. I don't think that has to do anything with their performance. They're just getting flat out beat on both sides of the ball. So they're going to have to shore it up defensively to not try to stop the run from James Cook because he's dominating right now. He is the whole reason why the Buffalo Bills are up 21-3. So they're going to have to do that. We have the post-game show coming up after the game. It's Donovan, it's Matt, it's Monty. We'll be here. We'll be fussing and discussing and dissecting
And
21.
And who knows what's going to happen, the way this game might turn out.
21-3, Buffalo's up in the first half over the Cowboys. They've got a lot of work to do, and we'll be back after this game to talk about it. So join us on the ticket. Why don't you? Thank you. Bye. Go DeSoto. Champions. State champions. I'm a champion again. Thank you.
Better than the Cowboys.
Eagles. Is that an eagle?
Yep. That's more
No,
of an
that's
eagle.
Why would this be I don't know. What is that?
Is this an eagle?
What is that? That's a moose. I don't know. Bye. Get us out of here, Joe. What the hell are you doing?